Welcome to week 6, and in this lesson we're going to start developing templates, which a template makes things a lot easier. You can set everything up for the different disciplines that you want to work with, and when you do that, everything's there. All you got to do is open it up and utilize it, and I'm going to show you how to get these things set up. Now, in Blackboard week 6 task list, if you look at it, you have we're going to develop a mechanical template, and we're also going to develop an architectural template. Now, I already uploaded you a civil template that's already done, so the only thing you got to do is just save that onto your files and you utilize that whenever we do our civil project. So I made you one there. So now I want to get in here and show you how to make a mechanical template. Is go ahead and open up AutoCAD, and I want to go just start like you're going to start new, and we're going to do a mechanical drawing. So we set it up just like you do mechanical, and I want to start right here on number 3 and start that way. I'm going to do setup with decimal units and a limit of 50 by 50 inches. Now when you do decimal units, you don't have to put those inches in there. So imperial feet and inches, come over here to use a wizard, advanced setup, and decimal. Good. I'm just going to fly through all that, and I'm going to set this up at 50, tab it 50. You don't have to put the unit because it's automatically known. That's what you're going to use. So now I enter that in. So section 1 here, section 3.1 is check marked. We got that done. The next thing we're going to do is set up our text. Now this is not too difficult to do, and I'll show you how to do that. Come up here into annotate, and you see you got a text, dimensions, leaders, tables, markup, annotative scale. We're going to go into text here, and you already have two different styles of text already made. You got an annotative and a standard. And annotative, if I've showed you a little bit earlier, annotative, when you use that and use your annotative scale down here, what happens is it compensates and understands exactly how you want that annotation to look when you print it off, and it automatically adjusts the size of the text to meet that. So it's a lot easier than using standard. Standards, you have to do the calculations yourself. Annotative, it does it for you. So I'm all about doing things automatically, and it makes things a lot faster and more efficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these annotative. We're going to make 2 different text styles, and we got 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. So I want to get in here, and just to save time, I'm just going to make one of them. But basically, come in here and hit this drop-down tab, and you want to just go over here and hit New. And I want to call this one 1/4.125 inch text. Okay, we got to get rid of the inch sign off that. I don't like that for some reason. Hit OK on that. Now when you do that, see how it automatically makes you one? Now I want it to be annotative. I want to have that little Mitsubishi looking sign on there so I can use my scale. So I want to hit annotative, and my text height, I want it to be 0.125, and also my font style, if you look back at Blackboard, it wants it to be Arial or Times New Roman. So either one of those, I'll just do Times New Roman, the original one, and that's all you got to do, and hit apply and close. Now if you go up here and look, see how now I've got an extra 1.125 annotative standard. You'll do one more in that, and you'll do a quarter inch. But also how to use text. You got 2 different things. Multi-line text. A multi-line means that you can do multi-lines. Like Kentucky, I write that, and so you could keep on going and write whatever you want to write. multi-lines. And a single line, you have to click on it and get your direction, which way you want it, the text to write. If you're going straight across, just turn your ortho on, and then we'll write in Kentucky, just like that. Now, both of these were done according to the .125 text, and you'll see that right here in our properties, style, .125 text, and this one's all done .125 text. I could come up here and grab this one now, and I can change it to annotative. See how the different style looks compared to this right here is at .125. This one is my annotative. Again, if I want to change this one back to the .125, click on it, come over here and change it there. Or you can also change it in your properties. I click on it and come down here and change it to whichever one I want. Okay? So there's a couple ways you can work with text. So I'm just going to delete those off. So we got that set up. The next thing we're going to do is set up our dimensions, and basically it wants us to use the annotative that's already on there. We can make a new dimension style, but we're just going to use annotative. Only thing we want to do on this is set our decimal units to 1/8 of an inch. So that's really simple and easy. Here's your dimensions. Change it right up here. Make sure you go on annotative. And I want to go dimension style and just make sure that my text is set to .125, which it wasn't, so I'll change it. Primary unit should be decimal, and it's okay on that. And close. So we got that taken care of. Now we can check that off. So we can check off this. Now we're at multi-leader. Let's do that real quick. And right here's the multi-leader, and you notice when I click here, you just got one made. It's a standard. I want to make an annotative multi-leader, and let's go back and look at that. It wants the annotative and Times New Roman style 1/8 of an inch text, so I'll show you how to do that real quick and easy. Come up here and hit your style manager, hit new, and right here the main thing is I want to type in, I'm just going to write annotative on this one, and I want to change this to annotative. Make sure you click on this, hit continue, and all this stuff here looks fine to me. Looks good. Content though, you see text style, I could come in here and just tell it the exact height, but I can also come in here and use the text that I made over there, that .125, and close. And you've got it. It's set there, it's set. Everything looks good. And basically, the only thing we've got left is creating our layers. And to create layers, we're going to come up here. It says open up the attached layers JPEG, which is this one. And we're going to make our layers. And to do that, I just go into AutoCAD, and we're going to have a construction, object, hidden, center. Go back to home, and right here is your layer box. You got the draw box, modify, and layers. And if you come up here in the upper left hand corner of the layers box, you've got a layers properties. Open that up, and you'll see whenever you open it, you can grab this side and you can dock it wherever you want to. It's acting strange. Well, I'll just leave it there. If it's where it wants to stay, we'll leave it right there. But you can pull it and it'll dock. But automatically, AutoCAD makes a 0 layer whenever you start a new document. That way you have something to work with. You don't have to make it yourself. It already defaults a 0. And you can't delete that one. That's on there forever. Alright. But making new layers, come up here and hit the new button. Just like that. And I'm going to call this first one construction line. Come across here, and you can make it whatever color you want. Now this says a gray. Just click on this color there, and here's a gray color. Okay. Line type was continuous. That means the line just goes straight. Line weights default and normal plot style. So line weights default, it's already on default. And the printer plotter is turned on. That's fine. Hit new again, and we're going to make another layer real quick, and it's going to be object lines. Here we go. Object line. And we'll make it, and we're going to make it, we'll make it black. I don't know what color they said, but it looks better in a black. Hit OK on that. Line type's continuous, but the line weight on this one is 0.6 right here, 0.6. So we come back in here, we change that to a 0.6, and make sure your plotter's on. Now, if you turn a plotter off, this is what it'll look like. Have like a little cross sign on it. So open that up, and one more time I want to show you. I'm just going to do one more, and then I want you to do all of them. I'm just going to do an example. This next one we're going to do is a hidden line. They're wanting you to do a cayenne color. It's hidden. Is the line type 0.3 line weight normal plot style. So I get back in here. First I want to change the layer name to hidden. The color is cayenne. They're wanting you cayenne, so we'll do that color, or cyan. Line type. See, whenever I click on line type, just continuous is loaded. Again, I come up here and click on this. I want to load up a hidden line. They've got all the alphabet lines in here. Here's hidden. Don't do the 2 or 2 times or whatever that. Just get the regular hidden. Click it again there, and okay, and it should say hidden right there. And the default line weight, the thickness of the line is 0.3. Leave the rest of that on. Now I'm just going to jump back into my drawing here. I'll close this out. And if you'll notice up here, check this out. There's your different ones that you made. Ain't that cool? And the reason for those is whenever you draw, you'll have different line types and that you're utilizing. Let's say, for instance, I want this right here to be my object line. This coming here or I thought I had an object line. I must not have. But layer 1. And if I turn down here on your status bar, I can turn on show line weights. Let's go back in there again to properties and see what that layer 1 was. I'll make this my object line. Continuous, the default was 0.6 on that. And you see there, that object line, I made that an object line. And if you turn the line weights on, you turn them off, it doesn't show the line weight, but if you turn them on, that shows you the difference. I can click on this one, and I can change it to hidden line. Y'all see it now, it's got that dashed look about it. You can go to this one right here, we'll do that construction line. You can also change these over here. When you click on a line, you can change them very easily right here in your properties as well. Now, I don't recommend drawing lines with the line weight on. It's just there just to help you to see the overall picture before you print it out. Make sure everything's correct. But that's how you utilize these, and they're saved in there. So delete that out. Now, I've got all that set up. And again, I want you to put all these layers in for me. I'm going to close that out. The next thing we're going to do is set up our layouts, and it's really simple. You're going to have an A size and B size paper. So let's go ahead and do that. If you'll notice down here, you got Model tab, you got a Layout 1, a Layout 2. Alright. What I want to do is right click on this layout, and I want to go rename. And I'm going to call that A size. Click on this layout 2, right click, rename, we'll call it B size. Well, just because I changed the names on them doesn't mean that they're exactly the right size. Okay? To be able to find out exactly what size you're using, right click on it and go to Page Setup Manager, or you can get there by your Layout tab up here at the top. Y'all see that? And whenever you click on that, you can go to Page Setup right there, or I just like to right click, it's a lot quicker, and go to Page Setup. Inside of here, you got A size, B size. You're on A size, so that's what we want to modify. And the only thing I want to do here is I want to put my plotter to it. And the printer that I'm going to use on this one is a 2020. That's what's in my lab right now. And paper size 8.5 by 11, which is letter size. And that is perfect. Okay. Alright, that's good shape. And leave everything else alone. So we know that one right there is on A size is actually an 8.5 by 11. Now the B size, I want to right click on it, go Page Setup Manager. It is, we have to modify once we're in there, and I want to use, for this one it's going to be a little bit larger, it's going to be 11 by 17, so I want to use my larger plotter in my lab, which is a 2300 Design Jet. And you see it's 8.5 by 11. I want this to be 11 by 17. So I click on it right here, and I'll slide down to 11 by 17 is also known as a tabloid size. You click on it, see that 11 by 17, how it comes in. And landscape, everything else is good shape, so hit OK on that, and you can see how your paper size gets a little bit larger. Alright, so now I've got A size and B size. If you want to do a C size, D size, or whatever you want to do, have different layouts to plot off of, you can go right click and just do new layout and see how it adds you another one, or you could have went up here and just done new layout. It wouldn't matter either way. Alright, so next we've got that set up, and now they're wanting us to create the title block and a parts list. Let's see. Alright, for A size paper, I just want to do a title block form 5. I don't want to use a form 6, so I want to use a form 5. And to find that, you've got a reference chart up here. I click on it, and see right here, it'll show you. If I zoom in here, form 5 would be this little form right here. You can use form 5 or form 6. It doesn't matter, whichever one you want to use. And it goes right there. And to find form 5, we have got to look at the title box reference chart 002. And right here is form 5. Right there. So we just use that to put this together. Now also I want you to remember something on this. When I'm getting ready to put the borders in, use 1/2 inch borders. It works so much better. And also, before I start putting this stuff in, I want to go back to the Home tab. I want to make one more layer, and I want to call it border. And the border line is continuous line, but it's really heavy and really thick. 1.2 should be fine with that. So we got that set. And I want to go ahead and set this thing current with the border layer, border line, and I come up here and I set it current by clicking this, and see how it keeps it up there full time. So what I want to do first is I want to put a border, because this right here is my paper. This is exactly what it's going to look like when it prints off. This is my piece of paper. Come up here to rectangle. I think it's so much easier to do. And eyeball this corner in. Click on it. And I want to put a border line right around the perimeter of the paper. So I hit at, which makes this 0, 0, because I don't know exactly where 0, 0 is. And I want to type in 11 first. That's the width of the paper. 8.5. So it put that line all the way around the perimeter, and I want to do an offset of 1/2 of an inch so I can have my border on there. Just like that. It's simple and easy. You got that on there. If you hit your line weight and your status bar, it'll make that look a lot heavier, that line. And now I'm going to go in here and I want to do this title block, and it's 4.5 by 1.81. 4.5 by 1.81. I'll catch this corner down here at negative 4.5 at negative 4.5 comma 1.81. Sends it up and across, and right there we have it. Now this is a polyline. It's completely closed, so I want to hit explode to get rid of that. So I want to take this line here and I want to offset it over 1 inch to get that. Hit an offset of 1 inch to get that part of it. And I just have to back and forth. 1.75 would be my next offset. 0.75, enter. Put this one in. And then we need a 0.38, 0.38. Okay, and then a 0.44. 0.38, 0.38, and 0.44. So 0.38 twice. And then a 0.44. Alright, now this line here, I think it stops like right there. And let me look back at the other one, and it actually stops down here. Just like that, and then you'll fill in your text, and I don't have a text layer made, so I'll just use object line, make that current. Come up here now into your annotate, and you can do a single line or multi-line text, whichever one you want to use. And what I do is, it doesn't matter. I can even write my text up here. It wouldn't matter. The first line is school or company, city and state. School, it is Big Sandy. Make sure it's all capped. Community and technical and tech college. I'm just going to put tech college. And then underneath of it's Paintsville, Kentucky. Kentucky 41240. Grab all that. Do that. Okay. I'll grab that. And whenever I hit escape a couple times to clear it, and it's on a 0.125 text, I grab this grip and I'll just pull it into place. And what I do is turn that ortho off. I'll put that right there, just eyeball it, and I'd grab this one and I'd put it. That's the difference between single line text. You know, whenever you make new lines, they're separated, but if you do multi-line text, it puts, you know, it would draw them all up at the same time. So we got that put in there, and then you kind of see the rest of it. I want you to put all this stuff in there, and you'll have your A-size paper done. Also, when you're in these layouts, make sure you're in paper space when you're drawing on the paper, like your borders and stuff. And then go in there to B-size and do the exact same thing. On A-size, I just want you to have the border. On B-size, I want you to have a few more items. I want you to have this title block, and also I want this revision block. I want the revision block right beside the title block, right over here. And then the parts list would be in the upper right-hand corner. So I want you all to get in there and get these templates done. After you get done with this mechanical one, make sure that you do this. This is really important. After you have everything set up on this template, what you do is hit File, save as. To make this a template, I'm just going to put it on my desktop. To make this a template, you have to come down here. I want to type in mechanical. And I want to save it, instead of a DWG, that's a drawing, I want to save it as a DWT, which is a template, right here, drawing template. And make sure that I save it somewhere where I can find it. And I want to call this one mechanical. Mechanical DWT, hit save. I think I already have one, that's alright. So I hit yes. And make sure it's save all layers as unreconciled, so hit OK on that, and we're good. We're good to go. We've got a template made, and you probably asked me, how do you use these templates? I'll show you in the next video that we're going to do, and that'll show you how to do the project for this week. So if you have any questions, please contact me, and also make sure that you get your architectural template done. There's another one on here. Close out of this. This was the mechanical. I want you to do this architectural one, and it has all the data that you need on here. And the civil template, like I said, I've already developed it for you. You just have to save that file. So if you need any help with anything, you're having trouble, please contact me.